welcome to another episode of Justinspiretv. We are here with Matt Moreno from Imperial Barbershop. Excited to be here talking to this guy off camera. It's a truly inspiring story. So Matt, let's get you introduced, man. What's up?
Yeah, what's up, man? So thank you for having me on the show. My name is Matthew Moreno. I'm 27 years old. I own Imperial Barbershop. I have 3 kids, 1 on the way. I'm also a convicted felon.
Oh yeah, man. That's part of the inspiring story, man. What you got going on, but let's start at the beginning. You know, how we got to this point. So take it away, man.
Yeah, so I started cutting hair when I was 12 years old. We didn't have a babysitter a lot of times, so we'd have to go with my mom to the shop. And you know, back before we had iPads and tablets, so couldn't be looking down. I have to be watching what mom's doing.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I picked up on cutting hair like that. I went home one day and I decided to cut my little brother's hair, and it just started like that. Yeah. And started cutting my own hair. Ended up going to school carrying my clippers in my backpack, and on Friday nights I clean up all the boys, you know, we go out to the party.
Yeah.
That's how it started. So yeah, I also went to like this boot camp. And the boot camp, every week we would have to have a haircut. It was a 1 and a 0. Very easy haircut to learn.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my haircut, man. I was really good at ball fade.
Yeah. That's where you picked up the trade.
Yeah, that's where I picked it up.
So the boot camp, that's interesting. I haven't heard about this. This is the first I've heard about it. Was that something that you went to for being in trouble, or what was that about?
Yeah, that was something I went from getting in trouble. I got in trouble. It was by the juvenile system.
Okay.
It was ran by ex-military guys. You know, you wake up, run 5 miles in the morning, 200 push-ups, sit-ups, obstacle course. You're marching all around.
Yeah.
The campus all day. You know, it was ran like a military.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I hated it at first, but I grew to like the discipline.
Yeah. Do you think that helped a little bit with any of the discipline issues you were having?
I think it helped mold me today. I mean, I learned a lot of good things. They had this deal where it was called the Code of Conduct. Mm-hmm. And it was 15 rules. And I mean, I kind of still go by them. You know, just talk about the basic things, you know, not lying and stealing, cheating, that kind of and whatnot.
So let's back it up real quick just for everybody, because I think it's an important part of your story. You know, some of the disciplinary issues you were having, why you ended up in the boot camp. Man, what was going on at that age where you had to be put in a boot camp?
So at 12 years old was when I first got arrested. I first got arrested. I don't know what was going on in my life. Probably not having a babysitter. My mom and dad were always at work, so we were just left at the house and to roam the streets. Mm-hmm. Once they put me in jail, you start meeting friends that are in that jail. Mm-hmm. And they get out, you want to go hang out with them. You know?
Yeah.
So that just kept going over the years. You know, 13, I started gangbanging. The guys that I had met were, you know, a good generation older than me.
Yeah. Which is never good for a young kid.
Well, you know? I mean, nah, because you learn a lot. You learn a lot with somebody that's 10 years older. They have 10 years of experience more than what you do.
Yeah. And if that's doing drugs or stealing or what, so they're that much farther down the road.
Yeah, whether it's negative or positive, bro. I mean, in that case, it was negative for me. But yeah, I started gangbanging when I was 13 years old. A lot of the guys were fresh out of prison. A couple of them were out the military, and you know, I just had to learn to be like them.
Yeah.
Young, you know, carrying around a pistol with me, selling drugs. 12 years old. You know, my son's 11 years old, and I could not imagine a 12-year-old doing that now.
Yeah. That's tough. I mean, being a father, it's like, man, we want to protect them from that. You know, we don't want them doing some of the same things we were doing.
Yeah, and you know, I really like that you were doing this right now, because I know one day my kid can look at it and you know, they can see what their dad was.
Yeah.
How they could change.
Yeah, and you know, that's what I think about with Justinspiretv is our kids and everybody watching. You know, is being that example. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I think you're definitely doing that. But you know, back to whenever you're young and getting in trouble. So around you know, whenever you were a teenager in high school, what was going on then? Was it got a little bit worse, I'm assuming?
Yeah, it just kept getting worse. I mean, I got put on a probation. Smoking weed was a big thing. I like to smoke a lot of weed, so I always get in violations. So going back to jail, and then start hanging around more friends. I started doing robberies, more gangbanging, more guns. 12 years old. A lot of kids, they go and play football and baseball. We want to go home and play with guns and drugs. It was different. It was all a good learning experience. I'm glad that I did go there. I don't regret any of it now.
And I mean, I can see that. I mean, that all that makes us who we are today. But hearing you say that, I was thinking, what were your aspirations whenever you were a kid just doing that? I'm just gonna be this, the baddest dude on the block.
I'm gonna be the Don. I'm gonna be El Chapo. That's what I want to be. I want to be the biggest and baddest.
Yeah.
And I put people to the test for that, and they did the same with me. So, I ended up running a good crew with, guys that were my age. I was the first one to get jumped in 10 years. So, so I had to leave, and, gangbanging ain't always the best way to meet people. So, it led to, more and more, and then, where really things got worse was when I turned 16. I found my father passed away, and I was already,
It's a tough age to begin with, and the people in your life that were around there probably dealt with pain or anything in a negative way also. That must have been extremely difficult.
I was mad, bro. I didn't know who to be mad at. I mean, I know I had a lot of years left with my father.
It's not fair.
Yeah, it wasn't. I didn't think it was fair. Everybody was a target for me. So, I ended up going, there was countless felonies and misdemeanors as a juvenile. Where it really hit me was when I was about 17 years old. I had caught an organized criminal activity charge, soliciting a gang membership, causing serious bodily injury. And so, it took about 2 years to go to trial. During the 2 years, I had met my wife. She was just my girlfriend at the time, but then she had also got pregnant. And then I remember going to trial one day and standing in front of the judge, and he's like, "Well, Mr. Moreno, today we're here for sentencing. We're going to sentence you to 10 years." And he stopped. 10 years. I look back at my wife. She's big, belly, pregnant. And then he goes, "But it's going to be on the probation."
Wow.
So so that was a real good. That was a good thing for me, but I felt like it was a setup because all the times I've been in and out of jail, another probation violation, I'll have to do the whole 10 years. I ended up doing 5 years of the probation. Did good with my cutting hair and got off 5 years early.
So, do you think the judge maybe looked at your wife, saw that she was pregnant, and thought, "Man, I'm gonna give this dude a second chance. I'm not gonna send him to prison"?
And I hope that's what it was. Probably. That's probably what it was. I'm glad that he did it. But at the time I did look at it like it was a setup. They could have did me a little better than that.
Where did you see yourself at this time? In 5 years, in 10 years. Was it just I'm gonna be the boss, I'm gonna be the Don? I mean, did you think that any of this could go awry, any of this would end up not in your favor? Actually doing real time.
When I was in that boot camp, we had a sergeant in there. He used to always tell us, he goes, "There's 28 y'all in here, and about 60 y'all are gonna be dead or in prison." He goes, you, Moreno. I was always one of them. So I thought, dead or in prison, I'm not gonna die. I'm gonna go to prison and I'm gonna, and I always thought that was it. My homeboys on the block, they were the same way. They went to prison, and I just thought that was part of it. That was just that's just like something you pay for, pay your dues. I just thought that's what it was.
Just a part of life.
Honestly, that's what I thought it was. It was just a part of life.
What is it like somebody telling you like you're probably gonna be dead or you're gonna be in prison?
I didn't say it was mine. I mean,
when you're a kid, it's just like this is the life I live, whatever.
That's what it was. We had bullets go through my mama's house, and any day those bullets can hit one of us. It could be the same way,
Yeah.
So I could be dead or in prison, luckily I dodged both of them so far. Yeah.
So, how do you feel about? So you mentioned that while you're doing your probation, you were cutting hair.
Mm-hmm.
So this is had you gone to barber school already? What was going on there?
Yeah, I mean, I was cutting hair, you know, for my friends and stuff, making a little $4 or $5 here and there.
Did you see that as an opportunity yet? Did you think about what it could be?
I just knew it was the only thing that I knew how to do to make money in an honest way.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that I wanted to live life right. You know, I didn't want to go back to jail, so I just kept, you know, cutting hair and trying to put forth the going to the school and keep bugging the owner to try to get enrolled.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, I got my shot. You know, I had saved up my money, my $2,500, and I said, "Here we go. Let's just start." And I'm gonna be here tomorrow. And I went there every day. I didn't miss a day. You know. Yeah.
And what was the dream from that? I mean, did you think I want to own? Because we knew, hey, I wanted to be the boss in this other world. You know, was it I want to be the boss in my own shop. I want to open a shop. Was it that yet?
It wasn't that yet. I knew I wanted to be having some sort of freedom. You know, barbers have somewhat of freedom.
Mm-hmm.
A barbershop owner, no. I knew I wanted to be a good barber.
Mm-hmm.
Texas City is a small town, and you know, there's barbershops all around the corner, but none of them are really different. It's all down there in little big Texas City.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that I didn't want to just be another barber like that. I wanted to be, you know, eventually a business owner, but I didn't think it was going to be a barbershop to this scale. This is my dream right here.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful place. And like I said, I came here and I'm like, man, this is it. You know, yeah, you're doing it, man.
Appreciate it, bro.
So, man, let's tell everybody a little bit how you're giving back, because I know after talking to you, that's a big part of it. How you're giving back.
Yeah, so I mean, I've done a lot of things here. I like to put autistic kids here.
Mm-hmm.
That's one big thing. I like to help with kids that have autism. I try to get people enrolled into barber school. Young men that, you know, are kind of not knowing what they want to do. If they show interest in cutting hair, I'm going to take them to the barber school and I'm going to help them get signed up. And I'll be there to pick them out their barber kit, to show them. You know, I really do want to help somebody. And I think that this career can really it's a career. It can help you in your life, and it can help you build your foundation for what you want to be. So I mean, like, I help kids out with barber school. I have a lot of the students coming here and they watch me cut hair.
Really? And about how old are these kids?
I mean, they're grown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they come by.
I guess I think at school, I'm thinking like some you know, younger guys. Yeah.
Yeah, and they come by here and they ask me questions about the shop. I go to the school sometimes and I help them out.
Spit some knowledge.
Oh yeah, spit some knowledge. I show them a couple haircuts. I let them know how barber's been good to me, what Imperial Barbershop is, and you know, how I love working with the team that I have here. It's what barbering should be. You know, I've worked in shops to where it feels like all the barbers are against each other. You know,
everybody's kind of competing.
Everybody's kind of competing, but you don't get that here. I mean, we all love it. We love waking up and coming to work and, you know, talking about, you know, a football game or going fishing, just guy shit.
Yeah, kind of that sense of community.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's some ways I gave back. I mean, and I'm still looking for more ways. I still want to help more people. If there's more, you know, young men that they want to take up barber, and if I can help them out, I will. You know, it saved my life. That's the only reason why I'm here today talking to you.
Yeah.
Because I'm able to cut hair.
Do you think you might save a kid's life who might be going down the same path that you were going in?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were to come around and show me all the money you could make from cutting hair, I think I would have took it up a lot sooner.
Yeah. And you know how important it is to have a role model in your life.
Yeah, you know? I do, because, you know, kids that are around 10, 13 years old, they're very influenced by whoever they're around. And I want to learn to be that positive influence that I can help others and, you know, keep this going, because I want to open up a school one day and I want to have more shops, and I just want people to know me. Like, yeah, that's the guy that helped me out and helped me get my foot in the door.
Yeah.
With his career.
Yeah, I mean, that's huge. I think that's the best way to give back, and I think that's one of the best legacies to have, you know, as opposed to a business. But man, this guy helped me.
Yeah.
You know, there's a bunch of people out there who's like, man, what that dude helped me get my foot in the door. Now I'm made something because of him.
Yeah.
You know, he gave me an opportunity.
That's
just like the person from the Barber School. You know, it sounds like they kind of helped you out a little bit getting in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're grateful for that.
Yeah.
You know?
Very grateful. That was the best investment I ever made.
Yeah.
And I'll probably ever will make.
So I know you said you want to open more shops, but what's, is there a clear picture of maybe what you want, maybe in 5 years, 10 years?
So I have my eyes on a couple locations, one particular location. I'm looking within a year and a half to open up my next shop. A barber school is really soon as well. I have plans for that. That is something I want to do.
That is something that I think is really cool.
Yeah, that's gonna be great. I love to teach. I want to help people. That's also gonna keep you know, good barbers in my shops.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, they could get out and start working maybe.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
have somewhere to work. But what better way to help people than that is to give them a way of life, a living to provide for themselves and their family, you know, and to teach something. I think that's one of the most important things is learning something.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you can cut someone's hair, or what is the saying? It's like, you know, you feed a man for a day.
So yeah, you can give a man a fish, or you can teach him how to fish. And
Thank
you
you.
can catch fish for life.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, down there in Texas City, it's not much. You just grow up and work in the plants, and that's about it. If your parents don't have you any money saved up for college, then oh well, you better learn a trade. You're probably gonna go into welding or scalping.
Yeah.
That's kind of what my case was. I just wish we had more trades down there in Texas City so we could teach, you know, in all the areas, any city, just so we can teach more young men how to do things and make that money the honest way.
Yeah.
Instead of doing what I was doing.
And that's why I think what you're doing is so important, because that's what you're gonna bring.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And a lot of times in business, and I think even in art too, you know, somebody asked that question where, well, why should we come here?
Right.
Why should I be interested in what you're doing? Mm-hmm. There's a bunch of other barbershops. Why do I come and see Matt Moreno?
Oh, okay.
Because, and maybe you haven't thought about that question, maybe you have, but I think about that and I say, because this dude gave up so much to be here. He went through so much to be here. You know what I mean? And he's out here not just to make some money, but he's trying to change people's lives. He's trying to help other guys. He's trying to keep people from going down that same path he went through.
Yeah.
That's why I think it's so important. That's why we're here talking. That's why this shop is here.
I always, like in school, I've always liked history. History's always my favorite, man.
Yeah.
What it is learning from other people's mistakes so that you don't make them.
Definitely.
You know, so I can tell people more about the mistakes I've made. Maybe they don't have to even go through it.
Yeah. Hopefully. Sometimes, I know with me, they told me a lot of stuff and I just had to do it myself. You know, I had to make some mistakes, but hopefully they don't make the mistakes, you know, to extend, really, going to prison or death or anything like that, gangbang and stuff like that. I mean, kids are gonna make the mistakes, but we gotta keep them away from that.
Two of my childhood best friends, bro, from when I was 14, 15, 16, are in prison for murder. I could have been right along with them. I have some that overdose. That's no kind of lifestyle for a kid. A kid has a lot of years to live.
Yeah.
Innocent.
Yeah.
Yeah. If there's ways that I can help, I want to.
Yeah. That's good, and that's important. I said that's why we're here. That's why I was inspired about everything. And I guess if we could kind of sum it up, like what would you tell somebody who might be going through some tough times, who doesn't know what to do or doesn't know how to make that change?
What I would say is you're the captain of your ship. I mean, you choose where it sails to. I'm no different than anybody else. I grew up in a small town. I bleed like you bleed. I have to wake up and go to work every day too. And if I could do it, a convicted felon, you know, so many things that have gone wrong in my life. This is the one thing that has. I mean, I promise you can find your way too. It can happen for anybody.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you. And I feel like we have similar messages of our lives, and because we talk a little bit about my past, drug addiction and everything, and I think something that I want to show people with my life is that we can turn around, we can turn this thing around, we can be something different. You know, we can see ourselves one way and it may be something bad, maybe something negative, the social mirror, they may see us a certain way, but we can turn that around. One day we can be something and the next day we can be something else. We just have to want it back down, and we have to have that, you know, that reason, that why, you know, that's really the power of this whole thing. And that's what I want to show people, and that's what I want to tell people, and I see that same thing in you, and you know, that's what attracts me to that story. You know what I mean? So, you know, I wish you the best of luck, man. And the school, I think the school is gonna be great, man.
Oh yes,
I'm super excited for that.
Yeah, I can't wait. Yeah, you know, my whole life I felt like I've been putting myself in a hole. You know, all these trips I've been taking and out of jail. So now I finally feel like I'm somewhat on an even playing field with everybody else.
Yeah. And it is a whole of your own making for sure. I mean, you said that, but it just, I guess, I feel like I need to reiterate that because there was so many things I did that were of my own making and not even see that. Mm-hmm. And I'm just obsessed with the idea. It's like, no, you can create something else.
Yeah.
You know, we created all of our messes for ourselves, you know, but we can also create something beautiful, something amazing, a business, a way of life. You know, teaching people, giving something back to somebody else. And I think sometimes people don't see that.
Yeah.
You know, they feel trapped in their little world that may be negative or not of their own making, but we can create something.
Yeah, we can.
So, hey, Vince, let's talk about whenever you first became a barber. How was that? Because I don't really know how you start getting clientele. Is it just all the homies that were getting haircuts at the house? Did they just come over here? Or?
Yeah, so I mean, I really didn't want to cut hair back in my hometown because I always knew that, hey man, you think you can hook me up with a quick fade real quick? You know? I'll get you next time.
Yeah.
I can't have that because I'm trying to make a living, so I wanted to cut hair somewhere else where I knew the money was at, something more upscale because I had to set standards for myself as a barber. So yeah, I mean, I remember being in the shop the first day, you know, for months, for at least the first year, sitting there for hours in the chair, just waiting for customers to pull up. You know, a customer will pull up to the front of the shop and act like he's gonna come to the door, then go next door.
And you're just sitting there waiting.
Just sitting there waiting, man. I mean, yeah, I mean, it just built up after time. You know, you do a good haircut. You know, you do 4 good haircuts in a week, and then you get a month. You know, 4 good haircuts a week, then you get a month. That's gonna build up, though. Mm-hmm. All those clients are gonna build up. The word of mouth is gonna get around, and it's gonna happen. I mean, barbers, if you're good and you're dedicated to what you're doing, you're sitting in the shop for 12 hours a day, you're there from open to close trying to make it, it's gonna happen.
Yeah. And you know, we talked about having that why. I mean, this is how you're gonna provide for your family. Mm-hmm. You know, your wife. How old was your daughter at this time? Whenever you're going through that.
Yeah. So let's see, how old was she? She was about 3 years old.
3 years old. So yeah, I mean, it's grind time. We gotta make this happen.
Oh yeah, I need to put her up in a good house and have some good clothes on.
Yeah.
You know,
a lot of motivation right there.
There was places that, you know, because me being a felon, I couldn't find a good place for us to live at. I was trying to raise a family in an apartment complex that was full of sex offenders, and I knew I didn't want that.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah, it's still scary, but you know, I got us out of there. And I knew what I wanted, and that's, yeah.
So what do you think it was that helped grow business? Because again, I'm thinking back in my mind, hey, I'm starting a business. You know, what was it that helped grow your business to how you are now?
Yeah, so I always worked in the shop. You know, I was working in the shop for 4 years. I had got too complacent. I knew I wanted to open up a shop. I had an idea of how I wanted to open it up, but I didn't put any action to it, you know. Mm-hmm. I really had got fired. And me getting fired gave me that push.
From another barbershop?
From another barbershop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got fired from another barbershop.
What was the reason?
He heard about my ambitions to open up a shop. He just thought it wasn't best, you know, for the clientele and for me to be there. So yeah, so he fired me, and you know, I just left without a job. Like, man, if it's not there, I got to create my own. Mm-hmm. And so, decided to open up a shop. You know, just a rock's throw right down the street from him. And we're doing very well. I'm blessed to have the clientele we have here. League City's been awesome to us.
Yeah,
they've been awesome to us, man. This is a good part of town. Yeah, I mean, they get my full support.
Yeah. What other things have helped, and I guess where I'm gearing that at is social media. How has social media helped? I seen the video up today.
Yeah.
You know, it looked great. How has social media helped?
Well, haircutting is luckily for me, it's a very visual thing for everybody. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you know, you see a good haircut. You see, you know, videos. Instagram is a very good platform.
Yeah.
It's just like our album. You know, I could tell somebody, hey, pull up my Instagram. You see, you know, all my haircuts, all different styles. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So social media is really a big help. Mm-hmm. Especially right now, since people are inside and they're probably just looking at their phone board.
Yeah.
Be in front of their face and they're not in here.
Yeah. So do you do that? We have a younger guy who's doing all the social media, Instagram stuff? Or?
Yeah, so I got my cousin that's doing it, man. He's very great at what he does. He has a marketing degree from U of H Bauer. I mean,
damn, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been doing
You got
awesome.
the right guy on your team.
Got the right guy on the team, and I kind of help out too. I mean, I give him the ideas, and he just goes and puts his 2 cents in and does what he does, creates.
Yeah. Yeah, you mentioned a lot of people being on their phones right now.
Mm-hmm.
How did COVID affect business? Were y'all having to shut down at all, or essential? How was that?
COVID was, you know, when we first shut down, it was very bad because about a month prior to that, you know, you got all the cases building, getting higher and higher. Mm-hmm. People were scared. There was a panic. So the shop was empty. This was on the list as one of the most dangerous places to visit during COVID.
Wow.
The barbershop was, you know, along with the gym. So people were trying to steer clear from the shop. We could tell there was nobody coming in here.
Yeah.
We were shut down by the state of Texas for about a good 8 weeks. We came back, I think it was May 8th. We had came back. And when we came back, we were blessed, bro. It was like somebody opened the floodgates, man. Everybody just came in. It was busy.
Looking like me.
Looking like you.
Help me.
Yes. Or their wives cutting their hair and us having to fix the mess up that their wife did. Yeah. But I mean, it's busier than I've ever seen it for Christmas, back to school. So many people need haircuts. And we just try to build off of that momentum and just keep it going. I have a good team of barbers here, and we all try to make the customers happy. We love what we do. And so.
Yeah, it sounds like, I told you I had a few friends reach out to me like, oh man, you're going over there, you're gonna interview Matt. It's like, I was like, oh man, I didn't know you knew the dude. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, and I didn't realize y'all were this close to where I'm at, you know, from the pawn shop.
Yeah.
But hey Matt, so what do you think about summing it up, telling maybe some aspiring entrepreneurs, what advice can you give them? What can they learn from you?
Well, if they're aspiring, what's holding them back? That's one thing. What's holding you back? I mean, if you're not doing any action, if you're just sitting at home, what are you doing? You need to be getting up every day and put some kind of action towards a plan. Because time's passing, bro. Time's gonna pass us, and somebody else is gonna beat you to it if you're not gonna do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if you don't want to get beat, you better go ahead and put a move on.
And I'm listening because I told you about the coffee truck.
Yeah.
And that fear is there. You know, that fear is there. It's you know, there's this thing that pays the bills. There's this thing I want to do. You know, I feel it. I know why people are scared sometimes. I know why they hesitate to move into action. You know. So what advice for me specifically would you have?
For you specifically?
Yeah. Principles are the same, you know, haircuts, you know, coffee, we gotta take care of customers. I mean, I believe all the principles are the same. You know, what do you think I should keep in mind?
Well, brother, you're doing it. I see how your progress has been. I look through your Instagram. I see you got your shirt going. I know it's coming along. Be there every day, open and close. When you say you're open, when you say you're closed, be there, bro. Try to get every person you can. Make sure you know every person's name that comes to you and gets their coffee. Man, I would love it if you really know my name, bro. Every night I know you, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just building that relationship with people, and I think you do great, bro.
I think I can do that, man. Well, I appreciate it, and I appreciate you coming on here and telling your story, and I hope people get from it what I've got from it. You know what I mean? But go ahead and get everybody your social handles, tell them where they can find you, where you're at in Lake City and all that.
Yeah, so you can find us on Imperial Barbershop LC on Instagram. You can also find me on Instagram, _Boyle_Barber. You can find us www.imperialbarbershopLC.com. And give us a call. We're here 7 days a week. 281-532-6368.
Get rid of that quarantine here. Any other things you want to say? Any shout outs you want to do or anything like that?
And brother, just thank you for the opportunity. I really like what you're doing with Justinspiretv. Sean, appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
Cool, man. Well, I guess that's a wrap, guys. And keep creating a life you love. We'll see you on the next one. Later.